Welcome to AnimeCon.org convention staff. This training module is all about our special guests. So at most of the conventions, we have voice actors, entertainers like Samurai Dan, game shows, stuff like that, and the guests come to entertain attendees throughout the weekend. Your job as a staff member really depends on your department. If you're in the guest relations department, and I'll have more for people that aren't, so don't skip this video, but if you are in the guest relations department, what your job consists of is usually just attending to the guests' needs. And that could be, they might need water or markers or some supplies from ConOps or paper, or they might just need to know what their schedule is. They might need you to show them around the venue because, they probably go to 20, 30 different conventions a year. Every convention has the same venue. So if you're just like, hey, go to ConOps and we'll meet you there or something, they might be like, what's a ConOps? Where is it? And so those are some of the kinds of things that a guest handler in the guest relations department might be responsible for. You'll want to talk to your department head to get a lot more in-depth training. There's a lot of little nuances, such as, dealing with fans in the autograph lines, and, what if a fan is too pushy with the guest, what kinds of things are you supposed to do. Talk with your department head about those kinds of things so that you can be prepared for anything. If you're not in the guest relations department, one thing that we want all staff members to keep in mind is that the guests kind of rely on you to be, kind of sense of support. Like if you went to a hotel and the front desk was like not there, what your job as a regular staff member is to be like that front desk, to be like that hospitality employee, to try to help them, and also realize that they are working all weekend long. Conventions are fun and exciting, but during that whole time, if you sign autographs for an hour, your hand is going to cramp. It's going to be uncomfortable. If you've just talked on 3 panels all day, your voice might start to be cracking and you might need to relax and stuff. So we ask all staff members to remember not to try to take advantage of your staff position. So as a staff member, just remember that, if you see a voice actor hanging out in ConOps, maybe they're waiting for their flight, maybe they're dealing with a panel issue or something, that might not always be the time to ask them for like an autograph for yourself or something like that. What you're supposed to do is figure out who their guest handler is and ask that person, not ask the guests directly. Because if you ask their handler might already know, actually, yes, they love signing things, they'll sign it for you right here, no problem. Or it might be, oh, actually, their flight, they're already going to be late for their flight. We have to go. I'm sorry, we can't, stay and talk to you. Because the guests are going to be too polite to say no. They know that you're putting all your time into the event to make it a really special event. Your efforts help make them have a better time. So they don't want to be like, no, I can't sign for you, because then they're going to come across as jerks. And they don't want to do that because they really like you as fans. We usually only invite guests that actually like the fans that they work with. But, in those private areas, we want our guests to be able to feel like they can come to our staff and feel safe and not bothered about anime stuff and the stuff that they're kind of doing all weekend without, first checking with their handler that they're okay with it. And generally that goes for any kind of request you have of a guest. If you want to take pictures of them at a panel, or if you want to do this or that, ask their specific guest handler. Do not ask the guest directly, because the handler might know what kinds of rules that there might be. The department head of guest relations would know, those specifics, and they could tell you, what's cool and what isn't cool. Because, some guests, might have just done a panel and they might be like, okay, I need a place to take my shoes off and sit down, and they come into ConOps, and then, if you go up to them and say, hey, can I have your autograph? I really loved you in this anime. They'll, of course, say, yes, of course, I appreciate you being a fan. Thank you for being here. Thank you for volunteering. But they might need a break. And so, it's really tough to just be on all the time, because guests have to kind of put on that hospitality industry, hi, how are you? It's so nice to meet you, attitude throughout the weekend. And so, as a staff member, it's kind of your responsibility to think of yourself as a hospitality staff member, as someone who's there to be like, hey, can I get you a water? Can I get you something? Rather than being like, hey, give me stuff. So those are some things to remember when dealing with some of the voice actor guests at the convention, and watch more training videos soon. Thanks.